Hey everyone, and welcome to a kind of new series here on YouTube where after having dived so extensively into Sleep Token over the last few months, of course I only started listening to Sleep Token earlier on in 2025, I've rather become in love a little bit with this band. This band has changed my life in professional and personal ways that I never could have imagined. But one of the things I find most fascinating is obviously, as a voice and performance coach, the way that Vessel delivers, the way that the man behind the mask delivers the vocal performances on each of these performances. Not just the lyrics and the music, which I dive into on the longer form videos, but I thought today, for the first time, we would start with the song that's kind of told on everyone in their Spotify and Apple Music and YouTube Wrapped, because a lot of you listen to Gethsemane a lot this year, which of course is completely understandable because it is one of the standout tracks from the album Even in Arcadia. So today we are going to take a dive into the vocal analysis, if you like, but just on the isolated vocals. Now, the majority of the songs I've done already, these videos will be available to my Ko-fi members, but I'm going to dive into some of the Even in Arcadia videos I've already done for YouTube so that we can have a listen to this, because honestly, I think this is absolutely exceptional. And also it adds little facets, maybe things that we've never heard before. And you know, as a voice coach, I just really, really love hearing Vessel's delivery of all of these. So for the first time, we're going to dive into this today. So this is Gethsemane from Even in Arcadia, but only the isolated vocals. Let's take a listen.
I wanted you to know I've learned to live without it. And even though it's cold and now I no longer feel surrounded, and you never listen to me, and that's the thing I tell the others. You were my harlequin bride, I was your undercover lover below.
So, very soft in his, in Vessel, the man behind the masks. I'm just going to refer to him as Vessel from here on out. Vessel's head voice. So, it's a very delicate way. And actually, for a song like this, it makes sense because it's almost like it's quite retracted. It's soft. It's like we're almost being whispered to. And considering the subject matter of the lyrics there, you can understand why it's a whispered tone. You know, I wanted you to know. Past tense. I wanted you to know, and so the delivery, the very subtle falsetto, the very subtle head voice, it really leans into accessing the lyrics and projecting them as well with the vocal performance.
You never saw me naked. You wouldn't even touch me, except if you were wasted.
Interestingly, on those lyrics, we move into the harmony. We get a rounded voice, maybe even as many people prophesize, and you know, I've alluded to in the past, that perhaps it's more than one voice, more than one character speaking at any one time. I don't believe that that's actually the reason behind this, but it's punctuating those lyrics at this point. It's rather pushing them out rather than it just being the single voice. It's taking away the fragility of it just being that single voice and rather adding some more some emphasis, some impetus to it.
But you were trying your best, and that's the thing I tell the others. I was your robot companion. You were my favorite color, and oh.
So we get additional reverb on the no. Quite often Vessel will add no's to the end of a line, which doesn't necessarily work with the lyric and in terms of like the syntax, the sentence structure of what he's trying to create. Sometimes he'll add no's or embellishments. Indeed, we watched a lot on the Even in Arcadia tour how much Provider and other songs took on new life with all of the extra flourishes, the extra vocal accents, the actual vocal lines that he was adding to the end of these lyrics, these vocal lines. But at the end there, we just catch it a little bit. It just gets that additional reverb that takes us into, and again, structure-wise, this isn't necessarily a verse, chorus, middle eight, chorus. You know, it's more nuanced than that.
I was your robot companion. You were my favorite color, and oh.
really
I'm
booms
caught
out.
up on the person that tried to turn myself into for you. Someone who didn't mind the push football games.
difficult.
Someone who wasn't always crying on the journey back. Someone who didn't feel the low blows either way.
Someone who didn't feel the low blows. We're up into like chest voice, maybe just a touch of head voice, a little bit of mix there. But it's actually for a standard male voice, it's not high, but it's certainly up in your register. So where this has been written, we kind of bounce around an F and a G sharp there. So it's a decent moving up into. Not necessarily a high register, not like a belt or going into his falsetto, but his chest voice, which means by going from that dreamy kind of falsetto voice into his chest voice, we are adding more purpose to this. What he's telling us with this vocal performances right now, I'm starting to press the point. I was caught up in the person that I tried to turn myself into for you. It's just interesting that it sits in that range. And also we get on the line, which I mistakenly said on the original Gethsemane video that I made, which will be linked up here. You can go and listen to the lore and all of the breakdown of the music in the longer form video. But I thought that there was a bit of grit added to this. I thought there was a crying, like a little almost constriction there on crying. But it isn't. It's an octave jump, an octave below. We get this extra
I'm the
voice.
person that tried to turn myself into for you. Someone who didn't mind the push football games. Someone who wasn't always crying on the journey back.
So you get that someone who wasn't always crying, and it cuts off there in the lower register. And it gives that's what I thought was that rasp, was that a fry, and actually it wasn't. It's just an additional harmony line, but it's not as is. And I'll talk about this a lot over this series. Sometimes harmony is there, obviously, just to make music beautiful and to make it more beautiful. And God, I could wax lyrical about the Aspera all the time and how they contribute to the live performance and what they give to the show, what they round off on these fantastic songs. They really do add so much to the songs, in my opinion. Re-record it with the Aspera, you cowards. but that's where it comes from, adding in those octaves. And quite often, so an octave, it's the same note. So, for example, like it would be that note, but it would be down here, and that's what he does. He plays with the vocal lines by adding that octave below to beef out the sound. But also, what is that telling us? What is that telling us emotionally? What is that telling us in terms of the message that he's trying to convey?
Someone who didn't feel the low blows either way.
There's just a little bit of cry in that as well. Someone who didn't feel the low. He's doing a little bit of cry, which means that again, we're moving to a more heightened emotional state by the vocal delivery.
Someone who didn't feel the low blows either way. But I was waiting for you when all along it was you with the countdown kill switch. It was me with the blindfolds.
So with that, we got a little bit of filter on there, almost like a telephone filter, to make it sound a little bit like it's, I don't know, far away on the end of a telephone line. If you listen to this thing,
For you. Someone who didn't mind the push.
Imagine it coming through a telephone.
Someone who wasn't always crying on the journey back. Someone who didn't feel the low blows either way. But I was waiting for you when all along.
Thought I was waiting for you when all along, and it comes through in that like weird little filtered voice. I think it's a really, really astute choice there in terms of production.
It was you with the countdown kill switch. It was me with the blindfolds. I was trying my best, and that's the thing I tell the mirror. I was in love with the thought that we were in love with each other.
I'm going to let this roll because you've got the reverb.
What might be good for your heart?
It's fucking incredible.
Might not be good for my head. Oh, what was there at the start?
Swells of reverb underneath and swells of
Might
harmony.
not be there in the end.
There's even a voice that just cracks ever so slightly on the lower. Might not be there. and it just has a little break underneath there, which, oh, this adds so much character to
From
it.
my head. Oh, I prosper at this time.
I think it's here.
Might not be there in the end.
Might not be there, and there's a little bit of grit on that vocal line underneath. God, this is fucking brilliant.
Do you wanna hurt me? Do you wanna hurt me? 'Cause nobody hurts me better. Do you
Swimming in
wanna hurt me? Do you wanna hurt me? 'Cause nobody hurts me better.
Again, we've got an octave line underneath there that's supporting. But what's really beautiful about this, I need to kind of play. It hasn't.
Might not be there in the end.
This is where the A note rings out.
Do you wanna hurt me?
I just want to add these
Do
extra.
you wanna hurt me? 'Cause nobody hurts me better.
So it goes up to that.
Do you wanna hurt me?
But as we know now, we get this note
Do you
underneath.
wanna hurt me? 'Cause
And
nobody-
that A underneath pushes us into a tone. It's not there. It shouldn't be there. It's what I suppose you want to consider a blue note, but it just makes us lean. They do this in Take Me Back to Eden as well. Quite often, Sleep Token will use, Vessel will use melody lines that are the same, but the orchestration underneath changes, and that gives us a different emotional response. The first time he sings, "Do you want to hurt me because nobody hurts me better?" And it sits in the chords underneath, but then when we get that A, it gives us a Dutch angle, almost like a villainous feel, or rather, it makes us lean forward. We're back to Alexander technique. We're on our toes. We're moving into the next passage. And that's exactly what we're doing. We are moving into the next passage of the song. Let's continue.
Nobody hurts me better. Clear me like a dream, put it down like a smoke. We used to be a team, now we let each other go.
Octave again.
I still cling to my clothes. I don't wanna stick around, I just wanna let you know. Clear me like a dream, put it down like a smoke. We used to be a team, now we let each other go. Cigarette, I still cling to my clothes. I don't wanna stick around, I just wanna let you know.
Second
Clear me
harmony.
like a dream, put it down like
Now
a
we're
smoke.
building.
We used to be a team, now we let each other go. Cigarette, I still cling to my clothes. I don't wanna stick around, I just wanna let you know. Clear me like a dream, put it down like a smoke. We used to be a team, now we let each other go. Cigarette, I still cling to my clothes.
I'm not going to ruin it. We're going to run it through. Don't worry. But can you hear almost every time that the line is repeated, there is an addition of a melody line there. We are building and building and embellishing as we get along. Like the voice becomes stronger. It becomes more supported, and that kind of adds into the movement that we're about to get to when we hit this single voice.
I don't wanna stick around.
Wanna save me from the memories, nothing to lose, but I would have given anything to get
Dovetails
closer to you and all your enemies. I've got a few of my own, and this phone didn't come with a gun, so I got a different energy. Still see you when the lights get low, still hear you when I'm on my own. The parasites in the nightmares calling my name like
This wasn't you and your problem.
Listen, there's two types of people in this world. There are people who say, please just let me go, and this one is for you and your problems. Leave it in the comments. Which type of person are you? Are you the person who sings the end of the line, or are you the person who drops out and starts at the beginning? Because you can't do both. Listen, I've tried. You can't fucking do both.
when I'm on my own. The parasites in the nightmares calling my name like
This wasn't you and your problems. Your good day job, your bad karma. What are you afraid of? The same trauma. Show me what you're made of. 'Cause you talk about your constant pain like I ain't got none.
So again, punctuating the lyric, because you talk about your constant pain like I ain't got none, is it's hit with the higher harmony there. The harmony is used, obviously, like I said before, to be musical, to make things sound beautiful, to make it essentially pop music. If you like, swimming in reverb, swimming in harmony. But the way that the choices have been made to add harmony on certain lines, to punctuate, to really certain little, digs, certain moments in this song that that deserve that punctuation because of the subject matter.
And I've learned to live beside it, and even though it's over now, I will always be reminded.
And then we get that sweeping delay that takes us out on Reminded. Again, for those of you who have this theory or listen to some of mine, oftentimes when things fade out in Sleep Token, we believe perhaps that it means that the story is unfinished, that it is faded out for a reason, because it is doomed to continue. Potentially. So there you go. There's a little bit of a dive into it. I hope it added a little bit of context as well. Just to say as well, all of these isolated vocals, I tried to do it myself, but I reached out to Sweet Token, who makes all of these isolated videos both on TikTok and YouTube. So the link to the original, please go and listen to the original without me yapping over the top of it. It'll be in the description below. And thank you again for Sweet Token for allowing me to use these videos on YouTube. Of course, thank you very much to all of my supporters on Ko-fi who are on screen now. Without you guys, I wouldn't have the time to be able to make any of these deep dives or come back and go dive into this stuff as well. To be honestly just incredibly grateful. If you'd like to become a member on Ko-fi, of course you can. It'll mean that you get access to all of the isolated vocal analyses. We're going to be going all the way back from Thread the Needle, and I'm going to try and play catch up on Ko-fi to get all the way to where we are, which is on track 5 of Sundowning. Of course, the next song will be Higher. We'll be taking a very deep dive into that coming up. But yes, I'm going to be doing Thread the Needle from EP1 this week. That'll be available to my members on Ko-fi, and also Dark Signs as well, because that video has just come out. I'm sure there'll be a link up here that you can go and watch that now. And again, I love likes and subscribes, but you're free range humans. Honestly, do what you want. Because I'm not your mum. If I was your mum, I would say that I do have a merch store that's just launched as well as Ko-fi and all that shit. I know, fuck it, whatever. Look, I hope you enjoyed this. Again, go and listen to the original. Please listen to the hard work that Sweet Token put into isolate these vocals. And I shall see you pretty soon for some more music here on YouTube, or indeed, if you want to be a member on Ko-fi, you can come and join me there. Have a lovely week. I'll see you real soon.